Maybe you're a bit like me and you have all the oracle cards, the journals, the candles, the different types of sages, palo santos, aura sprays, crystals, all of the things. And you've been doing the meditation, the chanting, the yoga on this journey, on this spiritual journey. And you're wondering, how can my home help me? And how does it support me with my spirituality? Well, for me, what I realized is that Feng Shui is actually one of the most potent parts of this journey to really connect with spirit and source, because all of the tools in the world that we can have and all the things we can do, if our environment is not supportive of us and this intention of connecting with the divine, it really makes it a lot more difficult. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about exploring the energy of spirituality and Feng Shui and how it relates to all of these different things that you may be doing and how you can actually help and support yourself with it as well. So I'm going to give you what I learned as the translation, or yoga, the translation of what yoga is, because yoga was the first thing that I dove into on my spiritual journey. And I don't know about you, but when I started yoga, the very first yoga practice I went to, it was a Tuesday evening at 7:30. I ran in late and I sat on the mat and I looked, and the teacher just got us to close our eyes and he said, "This is an hour for you." And the tears rolled down my face. I couldn't really grasp the concept of doing something for myself. And that is one of the gifts of what this spiritual journey brought to me, was really getting to know myself and having time for me and not being dictated by everybody else and what everybody else was doing, and figuring out my own path. So as I started to explore yoga, I obviously got into so many different things like astrology and mindfulness and meditation and crystals and oracle cards and sound healing and all of the things. And each and every one of them has its own place. But when I think about it really deeply and how it interacts with Feng Shui, is that Feng Shui is an opportunity for us to balance and harmonize our homes. And when we start to balance and harmonize our homes in all areas of our home through literally placing specific elements in specific areas, it brings this sense of harmony. And it connects our homes, it taps our home into this universal source energy. And when our home is tapped into this universal source energy, things start to flow more, because we spend maybe 16 more hours in our home every single day. Like if you work from home, I spend maybe 20 hours a day in my house. So it has a powerful energy and it has a powerful vibration. And just like the word yoga, yoke, comes from the origin of yoke, union. And it's this idea that we try and are inevitably through our meditation and through whatever practice that you've been called to do, is connecting to the divine. And if we are doing all this work ourselves personally, doing our oracle cards, journaling, meditating, chanting, praying, yoga, qigong, whatever it is to connect to source energy, if we're doing all that for ourselves, and we're trying to create balance and harmony in ourselves, but we're not doing it for our house, it creates imbalance. And it creates a kind of, and this is what I realized, was that it created this kind of 10 steps forward in your practice and in your connection, and then would pull you back because your home is not in sync. So when we start to work with the energy of our home, as we're working with our own energies, they really kind of start to co-create together, because your home has an energy, it has a vibration, it has a frequency, just like you do. But most of the time when we're on the spiritual journey, and what I've seen for my clients and just even for myself, was that I was so busy doing reading my cards and doing my journaling that I wasn't looking up around my environment and being like, hang on a minute, is my environment supporting me and this practice? Now, I have another video that I've done all about supporting your spiritual practice, and another one about your spirituality area. But for now, what I want us to kind of understand is the essence of each of these different practices. You know, when we're connecting with oracle cards, for example, we're really connecting with divine, asking for divination, for guidance. And how can we get clear guidance? Like if there's, say for example, like our pineal gland has like a crystal inside in our heads that connect to like a little antenna connecting to a vibration and a frequency, that we want to be connecting to a higher energy, a higher frequency, and up from our heart up. But if and that's where we're using oracle cards and our, you know, journaling, and that is really powerful. So when we start to work with the energy of the house, and what I've seen is that the house, when we're tapping to this universal source energy, what does that mean and look like? The origins of that really are, and the philosophy of Feng Shui comes from the Tao and the Taoist principle. Now, if you haven't come across the Tao, there's a really nice introduction to it called The Way of the Tao with Winnie the Pooh. And it is a super cute book, and it basically explains the way. And when we think about vibration, energy and frequency, and we look at nature, we see that you plant a seed and you put it into the earth, and water comes onto the earth, like you put the water into the earth, onto the seed, and the plant grows. It actually grows to the sun. It goes to that source energy. It's moving upwards. And the rivers are all flowing. And within that river, there is a life force energy. The same within that seed that we've planted, there's a seed of potential within it. And everything is in flow, in divine flow. And when we see the symbol, if you kind of were to think in your head, what's a symbol that you would associate with Feng Shui? It is a symbol of yin and yang. So yin and yang means this energy of this circle, which is the flow, and the energy of doing and being, and the dance between the yin and the yang, and the dance between the doing and the being, and then the action of flow. So what we really want to do when we're doing Feng Shui and when we're doing spirit and when we're in our spiritual practices is that our life becomes in flow. Our homes become in flow as we tap into this source energy. So it's, for me with this conversation, is what are the practices that are you doing, and are you making them about this energy of connection to source energy, and are you creating the environment to support that as well? So the first thing for you to do when it comes to exploring the energy of Feng Shui in your home to support your spiritual practices is to recognize the power of this energy of the energy of the space that you're in, because it has a frequency. And as you raise yours up, as I said, and if your house stays here, it creates this tug of war. So how are you going to raise the energy of your house up so that it actually supports you to flourish and bring this sense of connection in yourself, in your home, and bring this flow, that Tao energy into your life and into your home? The first thing I would say is definitely do some space clearing. So if you haven't done it already, if you haven't come across it already, I have, this is a beautiful bundle of sage, and actually there's some local flowers here from Kefalonia in this beautiful handmade bundle that's been made here in the island I live on in Greece. But you can get sage, Palo Santo, even essential oils or incense sticks to just lighten the energy. Now, does this mean that it's going to like change the whole energy of your house? No. But if there's been a disagreement or a negative emotion or something sad or something unhappy happen in your house, it'll definitely clean that energy up. So you want to clean the space up. And then that just brings me to actually keeping your house nice and clean, because we're doing all of this work for ourselves internally, you know, maybe doing detoxes, maybe fasting, maybe doing yoga, like whatever you're doing for your house, for yourself, you want to think of that on the external, of that you're doing it for your home as well. So what do you need to do for your home? It's starting to take care of your home. And this may sound like, oh my God, but like I say to my clients that your house has its own basically personality. It has its own name. If you want, you can tune in and meditate and ask it what its name. You can tune in and ask it what does it need from you. I have done this time and time again with my clients as we've put the remedies in and they're seeing something kind of not moving the way that they want. And one client, I said to her, you know, why don't you go and sit and meditate and ask your home, like, what does it want? And like, what does it need? Because she had been doing all the work. She put all her Feng Shui remedies in. It was all set up and she's like, oh, why is it not happening? And she did the meditation, and you know what the house told her? Have patience. And that's just like what nature is about. We plant the seeds, we don't stomp and wait for the seed. We just trust that it's going to grow if it's in the right environment. And that's why it's so important to make sure that our environment is supporting us. Because if you want to flourish and shine, you have to be in the right environment and you have to look after it. So it's like if you don't water the seed, it's not going to grow, it's not going to flourish. So when she kind of got really smart with that, and I just have used that so many times with my clients now. I'm just like, go and check in with your home. Ask it, what does it need? What does it need for you to support you with this growth? And you may be surprised by some of the answers that you get. You know, people have been told to move this, get rid of this, and maybe they've got a vision of something particular in their home that they're like, that needs to go. You know, that it has a specific energy. Like maybe there's something in your home from a memory that was very negative that literally is in this place, and it's blocking the flow of you being able to create and call in good things into your life and that energy of flow. So meditate with your home, connect with it, do a space clearing, and then get really mindful of cleaning it. Like clean it. Go into those little corners, those nooks and crannies where there's dust gathered. Where dust is gathered, where there is clutter gathered, those are the areas where the energy is not moving and things are getting stuck, and you're kind of like feeling a bit like, it's just like in your body, you haven't done yoga for a while and you're like, oh my God, I need to do some yoga. I feel so like stretched, and then you're like, oh God, I feel it the next day. Like if you don't keep on top of it, it's going to deplete the energy of you. Now, in terms of spirituality for me, I would say to you, when it comes to storing all of your spiritual items, be very respectful of them. So have a nice container, a nice place for them. You could set up a little altar. Don't recommend it in your office, or in your office if it can be separate, but not necessarily in your bedroom. And I do have another video about the spirituality area that you can check that one out. In the meantime, have some fun with this. Connect with the idea that your home has an energy, it has a frequency. Clear it out, do a space clearing, and meditate with it. Ask it what it needs, what help it needs from you.